now go.
Okay. Danarchy here telling you about Operation Martius, a 24-hour gas blowback only event taking place at 878 Airsoft. Gas Blowback Central and Texas Milsim have come together to create this unique op. And it's something that we at TMA have been talking about doing for the last 3 or 4 years. The great thing about this is that you will be sleeping in the field. We will have a safe area set up that will not be shot at, but during the entire 24 hours near that sleeping area, you'll have a fob. And that fob will have essentially a cot with some balloons or other targets on them, and you'll have to protect that throughout the entire game, or your players will be dead if the other players sneak in and kill your balloon commander or obtain your intelligence. So you want to make sure you guard that. Now with that said, you won't have to task any one person to guard the fob the entire game. Using gas blowbacks, we'll be rotating fire teams in and out. The unique thing about this game is it's going to be fire team based. And so you'll be working together, you'll be guarding each other, pulling security for each other throughout the entire game, so some of you can sleep while they're being guarded by someone else, because the last thing you want is for your entire unit to fall asleep and have the opposing team come in and clean out your fob, gain all your intelligence. That's another important thing in this game is intelligence. You'll be provided a map, but it won't have a lot of the new features on the map. Part of your job early on in the 24 hours will be go out and to ascertain what are the layouts of the buildings, particularly in the towns. Do you identify any of the HVTs? You'll be provided photographs. Can you locate these people and know where they are early on in the game, so that during the evening hours you can do snatch and grabs on those same people that will be back on the map, and you'll have the opportunity to do that at that time. So my key goal today is to talk a little bit about what your loadout should be as a Volscian. So let's start with the uniform. The uniform is going to be green, and the Volscians are a little more relaxed, and they're based on Eastern European armies. So when you look at me today, I'm wearing a Chi-Com chest rig. These are pretty common even throughout Eastern Europe. So it holds 3 magazines, and what I'm using today as my primary is a GHK AK-74U. The AK-74U is a very robust and reliable gas blowback. I've used this in a number of ops, including Bulldog. I haven't had any trouble at all with this gas blowback. So what you're going to be using if you're Volscian, we're looking for Soviet Bloc weapons, Eastern Bloc weapons. And as for my uniform, I'm wearing a mismatched loadout here. I have old surplus issue Army BDUs, and on my top, I'm actually wearing a Guardian Apparel t-shirt. And my top is a uniform replica of that used by the Serbian Territorial Defense Forces. You've got their patch there on this side. This one has actually added a patch for Arkan's Tigers, which was a paramilitary group that operated during the Bosnian War. Their leader was Arkan. He was kind of infamous. He carried a tiger around with him, and actually ended up being assassinated after the war in a Belgrade hotel. We've been asked by a lot of folks, what do I need to bring to the event? First off, of course, you need whatever your sleeping gear is. You're going to have to make sure you have a tent, a sleeping bag, something to sleep in the field. Make sure you bring plenty of food and water, whatever you think you're going to need, particularly in water. You will have transport of your supplies to your fob. What we'll do is, before game on at noon, everyone will load up their gear into the truck, and then after we load up all the gear into the 5 tons or the deuce and a halves, we'll have the logistics unit will haul those out to your fob. You will hike it, and during that hike, you may intercept some of the civilian resistance. They may attempt to take you down. If they do, you're out. We'll have to get an extract, a medical evac, take you back to the fob, and be respawned there. So you'll be able to bring everything in that you need, but you still have to carry the essentials you need for a firefight on your body. Alright, some of the things that you may not bring with you to regular ops, you might want to think about. You'll definitely need a watch. Objectives will be time. I'm using a Casio Pathfinder. It's a solar powered watch. It's got a barometer, it's got temperature, it's got a compass. You'll want to have a compass, you'll want to know your directions. We're going to be giving out directions based on GPS coordinates. If you have a GPS, that's an excellent thing to have in your fire team. You're also going to want at least 1 camera phone in your unit, because sometimes you'll be required to photograph bodies when you take down an enemy and send that back. You'll be required to perhaps text a photograph of an objective to your commander to get go-ahead to attack that objective. Fog of war is going to be an essential part of this game. you're going to have to coordinate with the combat controllers. In the case of the Volscian side, the green side, that will be me. If you're on the tan side, that will be Chris Big Candy Andrews, and determine if you have the proper objective and you're good to go to make the attack. You may end up, if you attack the wrong target or you lack the proper intelligence before going in, you may waste the entire mission and your fire team may be wiped out, or you simply may complete a mission that doesn't really accomplish anything towards your ends at the end of the game. One other thing that, a lot of players, if you're used to playing AMS or Milsim West events, you're already going to have this, but we'll be using IFAK. So what you want is 2 bandages, and each fire team will have a medic with them. That medic is the only one that can actually bandage someone. You want to make sure the medic stays alive. The bandage should be approximately 4 foot long, and should be a wide band like this. No little dinky foot-long pre-tied things. You want to carry those somewhere where the medic can get to them and get them out. If you don't have an IFAK, you're dead. And because of the size of this field, we're looking at 170 acres. You don't want, by any means, to have spent your entire day doing a recon or a patrol, seizing points along the way, and then getting to that final objective and getting shot right away and not having any way to respawn yourself.